Hey everybody, thanks for taking the time to check out my presentation. I will be presenting on school dropout among students of color, and my intended population are parents of the students. So the two main groups I'm focusing on are African American and Latina high school students. The achievement gap amongst these groups has been well documented, and the National Center for Education Statistics reports that the national dropout rate is at 8.1%, whereas African Americans are slightly higher at 9.3%, and Latina populations are at 17.6%, so quite a bit higher there. One issue that I came across in my research was that there are pretty variable dropout statistics, and these mainly are between the census data and independent researchers um, who have scrutinized the Bureau for minimizing the issue. They claim that a closer look at statistics contradicts previously accepted rates of dropout presented by the Bureau. Independent researchers have found more alarming rates of dropout, especially among students of color in the past 10 years. I think we can agree that this is pretty significant, and I will be using the Bureau data. So just recognize that it's at the low end of the spectrum, and these percentages are probably a little bit higher. So this is a table from the Bureau, and as you can see, it's from 1972 to 2009. And although discrepancies do exist between the reports, as indicated here, students of color are consistently at higher dropout rates. And the proportion of students who do not graduate from high school is dramatically higher among the two largest minority groups, Latinos and African Americans. So some of the repercussions related to high school dropout involve personal costs, such as lower median income. Uh, I found that the median income of persons ages 18 through 67 who had not completed high school was roughly 25,000, and as opposed to the median income of persons ages 18 through 67 who did complete their education with at least a high school degree was about 43,000. So over a total lifetime, this equates to a loss of about $630,000. And really, many of the high school dropouts earn far less than this median income, which results in subsequent lower income households, which also results in high school dropout indicators. And some of, or another personal cost is that there's a higher chance of incarceration. This can begin with juvenile detention and lead to incarceration as an adult. I found that nearly half the prison population consists of high school dropouts, and that does increase taxes as well as welfare costs. Dropouts make up nearly half the heads of households that are on welfare. So some of the causes of dropout, um, lower socioeconomic status is a big one, and just a general lack of resources among certain populations. And researchers do argue that race cannot be considered an actual cause of dropout, but many of these factors do affect populations that are associated with higher dropouts. So another one is geographic location, single parent households, peer and family beliefs surrounding education, and I found that this is more prevalent among Latina groups. And parental involvement is a big one. I feel like we've been talking about this all quarter, and it's really a huge indicator of potential dropout, where a lack of parental involvement in their kids' academic affairs is one of the most significant indicators of dropout. Research shows that peer and family is especially relevant, again, to Latino and Latina populations. Um, and then structural issues of marginalization. It should be noted that each of the aforementioned factors are associated with pervasive structural issues and racial disparity. One example of this is low-income and minority students are disproportionately placed in classes that are related to low-skill jobs, whereas it's found that white and affluent students are more often placed in courses that teach general skills or include considerable academic content. Additionally, this indicates an even greater need for accessible resources to underprivileged populations. Which leads us to the activity or the parent workshops. So there are quite a few direct-to-student interventions that exist, but again, I believe it's really important to involve the parents. It's imperative that parents receive education and guidance as well. So some of these programs, such as Common Sense Parenting, Achievement for Latinos Through Academic Success, or ALAS, which I actually found out means wings in Spanish, and Colorado Youth for a Change, are just several programs that share a focus and stress the importance of familial involvement and parental involvement. Additionally, there's a national program preventing school dropout beginning in elementary grades, which is a preemptive program that teaches parenting skills to help deter risk for later dropout. So all of these have been, they're empirically based, they've been reviewed, and research shows that they do work. So the purpose and goals of these programs are definitely to educate and prepare parents for challenges they'll face in regards to their children's education. These group-based workshops will provide parents with a platform to discuss their concerns and brainstorm with other parents, in addition to group moderators and also school staff. Collaboration is the big thing here. Parents definitely have expressed that they want to network and they want to be heard as well. Additionally, parents will be asked to share their goals with the group, and facilitators will respond to these goals and guide and also stress the importance of academic goals, just to ensure that that's included in the parent set of goals for their children. Additionally, logistical information. Sometimes parents just don't have this information, so things like school expectations and community resources will also be provided. And finally, coaching. So parenting skills, effective monitoring of academic achievement, help with homework, and also learning mechanisms for dealing with children's difficult behaviors and general management at home. So there are some factors that lead to participation or lack thereof, and to ensure the best results, it's certainly important that we address aspects that contribute to this participation. So what's important to the parents? What do they need for these prevention workshops, these dropout prevention workshops? Research shows that monetary compensation is of less importance than actually meeting other parents and finding convenient times. That was a big one that I found. Weekday nights tend to be the most convenient times for these parents. And in lieu of monetary compensation, another idea is to provide practical incentives such as bus passes or gas cards. That would certainly help with coming to these groups. Additionally, at least one of the group facilitators, this is part of the cultural considerations, will be of the same racial or ethnic background as the predominant racial group. This is an attempt to provide both sensitivity and comfort with the target population. Finally, Spanish-speaking moderators will be provided for the Latina-based groups, not only to increase comfort, but often strictly as a means of communication. So here are some resources that can be provided to the parents as well. I did find some local ones, such as the learning source for adults and families. I found this through Aurora Public Schools, and it's coloradoliteracy.org. This provides GED programs for adults, so sometimes parents don't even have a high school education. Additionally, language classes. And another one was the Aurora Community Connection Family Resource Center. And this just has a plethora of resources as well. A great resource online is the National Dropout Prevention Center, which has lists upon lists of online resources from anything to everything. So these will be provided, and also computers and access to these resources would be provided to parents as well. And here are my references. Thanks for listening, and congrats on finishing the quarter.